Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome, you lovely water signs. This is going to be a reading for you guys. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. So I hope you are all doing well. Just want to do a little checkup with you guys, see what's going on, how you might be feeling, what may have just happened, and what might be coming up. So my lovelies, I hope you are ready because we are about to do a little reading for you. So we've got a lot of cool things going on right now. We've got full moon in Pisces. Mars is going to be going retrograde in this month in Aries. So right now with the moon being in Pisces, full moon in Pisces in opposition to Sun in Virgo, that's going to be, especially tonight, since tonight is the peak of the full moon, a lot of emotions running high. It's going to be very easy to see where people might be messing up and judge them negatively for it in ways you usually wouldn't. It's not a good time for trying to focus on too rigorous of things, or starting anything new that takes a lot of like workmanship energy, because right now we're kind of, full moon in Pisces really wants us to find that balance between the head and the heart, your logic and your heart. Also, I think this is kind of interesting. Full moon in Pisces is kind of encouraging of fungicidal and viral diseases. So think about what's going on right now in the world with COVID. That's a virus. And there's kind of been a lot of, rallies and stuff going on here in Denver recently. Last night there was a really big rally at the Bandimere Speedway. Not following health and safety procedures is a big thing. And think about that. Full moon in Pisces encouraging viral outbreaks. Kind of suggestive there. So my lovely Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces water signs, I feel like this is going to be a little extra special for you guys because we are full moon in water sign tonight. And I hope you are ready for what is to come. All right, let's see here. From the bottom, I've got the Sun, Four of Pentacles, so that's Capricorn, Three of Cups, there's you guys, Cancer, Eight of Wands. Okay. So I'm going to talk about this a little bit more before I lay out the top cards. So the Sun, Four of Pentacles, Three of Cups, Eight of Wands, 4, 3, 8. That's kind of interesting. The Sun is number 19 of the major arcana. Technically it's the 20th because we start with 0. But all of those cards together kind of paints a little picture saying there's definitely new things coming in, which is very true because full moon in Pisces, opposition Sun in Virgo with a harmonizing aspect with Uranus is definitely going to throw some surprises your way. They may be a little tense, causing friction, but because of Uranus, that's going to lend a sort of beautiful aspect considering the fact that it's in a harmonizing angle with the moon right now. Don't quote me on that, it might be with the Sun, but anyways, with the Four of Pentacles here, Capricorn energy, that's, definite rocking foundations. Capricorn loves to shake it up, new things, experience new places, lots of stuff. That's why I waited to pull the cards from the top. They wanted me to shuffle a little more. Elf decks really talk to you if you let the intuition flow. So Three of Cups here. You saw that Ace of Cups on the bottom. Three of Cups here is definitely saying supporting the good surprises from Uranus, as long as you don't fight against that. Eight of Wands here. There's a lot of passion. So if you kind of just go with the flow, let the things that need to be rocked, but don't add waves to the boat, everything's going to be okay. You know, it takes hard times to make real, you know, visible movement and growth forward. And we're really going through hard times right now, globally especially. I would say each person individually on their own is really experiencing a lot of this as well. You know, we're looking at whole new ways of life. That's the sun talking to us again, sun card. A new dawn, a new day. But then look at this. On the Eight of Wands, he's kind of throwing this staff or wand, however you want to look at it, off into the distance with the sun setting behind him or in front of him. So that's saying, you know, as long as you keep moving forward, keep taking those steps, you are going to come into all of those wonderful, harmonious, beautiful things, all of the abundance that you have manifested for yourself. Okay, so that's kind of what the picture is going on right now. Let's see a little more in depth. Look at that. The first card we pull is the World. Ooh, you guys got some really awesome things happening right now. King of Swords. Definitely a lot of thought going on about this. Letting things go. Moving forward. Good job. The Knight of Cups. The World, King of Swords, Knight of Cups right next to each other. Wow, the Knight of Cups is definitely saying, you know, I'm ready to accept this. I'm ready to move forward and take steps necessary out of love and growth, compassion and kindness. What are you guys doing? Page of Wands. Holy crap. The Chariot. Oh, I love this. This is looking really cool right now. Nine of Swords, again, letting go. This is a lot of Gemini energy. So there's two sides going on here. Two of Wands. There's a little resistance. Emperor. I'm gonna just... Page of Pentacles. Wow. You guys are doing some really cool things right now. I foresee new jobs happening for a lot of you. Something that you never saw yourself doing. Something that you never even thought would be a reasonable way of life. There's definitely, you have the reins in your hands right now. We've got the Chariot smack dab in the middle, right next to the Page of Wands, Nine of Swords. So there's definite acceptance and moving forward. Two of Wands, I would say this resistance is coming externally, especially since we have the Emperor card right next to it. Emperor, masculine energy, external, the imposing forces, versus if we had the Empress, you know, that's the more feminine, the more internal, subconscious, versus Emperor's conscious world around you, physicality, especially being the Page of Pentacles right next to that. Pentacles, earth energy. Right here, here's Aries. There's Mars right there. We've got Mars going retrograde in Aries coming up this month. That's gonna be really, really freaking irritating for some of you guys. Probably not you guys, but people that you're dealing with. You've got this in hand. You're going to see where it will be potentially irritating or enrapturing, so to speak, but kind of a delusive, a delusionary enrapturing, you know, where it's like, is this really what it looks like on the surface, you know, or is this just the tip of the iceberg? Water signs, that's definitely you. You're being very inquisitive right now, but not to the point of holding yourself back. The Four of Pentacles can definitely be holding back or like stockpiling out of a fear of not having enough or preparation. But it can also be, you know, being frugal. I see that here with the Three of Cups and the Sun right around it, that it's a definite more, you know, you've got the long term in mind, especially with the Eight of Wands right there, that you are making sure that you aren't not being the Five of Pentacles, not putting yourself out in the cold. You've definitely decided you don't want to do that anymore. If you haven't took those steps as decisively yet, you have decisively made the choice that that is a good idea for you. Wow, you are really looking at the big picture here. The World, King of Swords, Knight of Cups. You are definitely understanding, you know, a little bit deeper the impact that your actions have emotionally on other people and logically on other people. You are definitely doing what this full moon in Pisces is encouraging us, almost demanding us to do, which is, you know, taking our head, our logic, and combining that with our heart, our compassion on the other side. At the very least, you are definitely very conscious about that. Chariot, you've got the reins in your hands, though. You have all the tools right there that you need. You know how you can do that. You can see all those places where you have the potential and the ability. Oh, this is so cool. You've definitely got a lot of new, awesome opportunities coming in. I want to say there's some kind of friendship coming in here that you could get out of this. A definite partnership, whether that's business, home, or social life. I want to say that it's going to be very emotionally touching or important to you. That's why we have the Three of Cups and the Knight of Cups, and that's really only the only water energies that we have at the moment. In specific cards. Because a few of these others can kind of be flowy, but Emperor is a little bit more fire and earth kind of energy, because it's like solid foundation and the imposing, the masculinity, you know, the force that acts upon, not the force that is acted upon. That's more air and water. But we've got that up here on top, the King of Swords and the Knight of Cups. The Nine of Swords right next to the Chariot is definitely saying that you know what things you need to accept and leave it at that. Let go. That's really supported by the Page of Wands right there. That's a new understanding, a new passion, and a new desire. And you've got the mastery of that. You definitely have been, maybe you just graduated of a sort. You just completed some sort of study. And you're moving away from different ways of belief, different opinions that you see weren't really working out, didn't really make sense before, that it's just like, okay, why? Just because it's tradition or it's always been done like this, do I need to keep doing like this? Like, has it really worked out so well thus far? And you kind of see the areas where it's like, maybe I can improve that, and we don't need to throw this away completely, because there's still going to be the memory of it, and the things that it built from it, that it made possible, that, if we hadn't went through these trials and tribulations, we would have never been able to see this mountain that we were climbing, because we wouldn't have even climbed this mountain. Definitely, especially since we've got the Chariot right under the King of Swords. That's a very grasping of the mind. You've really mastered self-control, I would say, or you are really working on that. Self-discipline is a big thing for you right now. Either it's something that you want to start working on even more, or it's something that you have been working on really hard. And you see the areas where, you might have thought you had that discipline before, but it was just out of an arrogance or an ignorance. That's definitely what the page, or the Four of Pentacles, is telling me right now. You saw that ignorance. And you've decided to not be so selfish. Yes. There was definitely ways that you saw you were being selfish or greedy or holding back from people on things that it's like, that's kind of really there for everyone. But you have realized that this is more beneficial for you, being the Page of Pentacles instead of the negative side of the Four. Fours are definite kind of completion, but it's like moving forward in something in a big way. So it's not as full of a completion as like tens are, but it's a definite coming into fruition, a manifestation of sorts. You guys have done a really awesome job, and you have potential to keep doing an awesome job. Or you see where you have the need to do an awesome job, but you really need to give yourself a pat on the back and realize all the things that you really have done. I mean, how long have you been alive for? Look how far you have come and how much you have gotten through. They say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. While that may not always be true on the surface, in the long run, don't you learn something from that? And isn't that lesson a valuable asset? And you're really starting to understand that now. I definitely see a very big aspect of maturity coming in that might not have quite been there before. So let's look a little bit closer at the sun, get a little more clarity around that to see what you are bringing in a little bit more specifically. Hanged Man, I cannot stress this enough. You are Three of Wands. Nine of Pentacles. Okay, this is a definite new way of life you are bringing in that is going to be very sustainable and long-lasting. And it's, it could be your whole future. This is what you're bringing in here, your new future. You have created those solid foundations. You've put a lot of work in. You see where there is still potential for work to be put in. You see the places where you need to stop putting work in because it's just a fruitless effort that is going around and round in circles, and that's not helpful to anyone. And you also realize that today is not all that there is. There is always tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes today, and there is still tomorrow. Today is always right now. Today is all you ever technically have in the moment, but you also will always have tomorrow when it is today. And you know that. I definitely see a lot of letting go of that stress of, like, well, where will tomorrow take me? Where will I be? This and that. And focusing on, okay, where am I putting myself today? where am I today? Eight of Wands wants to say just a little bit more. I'm going to take 2 cards around that. So that is Sag energy, Sagittarius. Knight of Swords. 10 of Swords. Yeah. Ooh. You definitely see those areas where you were overlooking dangers and mistakes that you were making, or that were very easy for you to fall into making again. And you have sacrificed up that naiveness or immaturity, out of an understanding of, you know, hey, you know, I'm grown up now. It's time to move on from those childish behaviors just because of a childlike glee from it. Because like that's not really that satisfying, you know. That's just a momentary gratification. It's not true, lasting satisfaction. A little more clarity around the world, and I think that's going to paint this picture. That really painted a wonderful picture, didn't it? Look at that. The 9 of Wands. So that's more Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius, the archer, fire energy, passion, drive, willpower. There can be a lot of, you know, anger with Sagittarius energy, or flippancy. Like, you know, well, you can't really tell which way the fire is going to burn. It's just going to burn. But you've decided that, well, I can decide which ways it's not going to, because I know it's not going to burn over this river, because this river is water and water does not catch fire. So you're definitely putting up those boundaries that need to be put up, and you are not crossing them yourself, and you're not allowing others to cross them, because that just doesn't work. It hasn't worked in the past. Why should it work in the future? So this really looks to me like a definite kind of long-lasting relationship coming in. I'm going to say it's more of a friendship, or it might be a family member is bringing somebody in and you're developing something really good with them, or they've helped you down this path. You know, they've helped you kind of awaken to some of these things, and you're going to be very grateful for that. And you're also not going to sell it short or sell yourself short. You're going to put in the full meaningful effort that is required on your behalf, and let them do what they're going to do on their side, because that's not up to you. And you realize that now, you know, in ways that you might have before been kind of trying to uphold people to making sure that they did the best thing that they needed to, while kind of overlooking making sure you were doing that yourself. So there's a definite air of maturity here. I would say this person is older than you. They've kind of been around the block a few times, so to speak. And they have something really valuable, a life lesson to offer. So this could even be a mentor or a teacher. You could be starting on that new, you might be going to college, or preparing to graduate. And it could be some sort of, it could even be like a spiritual leader kind of thing. Very mentor-like. This person definitely cares very deeply about you. They have seen a lot of struggles that you've went through, whether firsthand or having heard about them, and then seeing, you know, how it affected you, like really and truly, and that touched them very deeply. And they have a lot of compassion about you, about this relationship. I want to say it's kind of like a nurturing compassion, but then they're also like, well, hey, you know, you're grown up too, you're an adult here. So like, yeah, we can kick back and drink a beer together or whatever, but it's not about that fact. It's about the fact that, you know, you understand a little bit better some of the things in life that younger you just would have been like, what? You know, those times when people tell you, oh, you'll get it when you're older. Alrighty, my beautiful fire signs. I'm going to, yeah, there's nothing else that really wants to come through. So we're going to leave it at that. I just said fire signs, water signs. And I hope you enjoyed your special reading for this full moon in Pisces. And I hope you have a lovely night, my beautiful souls.